Hi everyone, it's Vickie Kello, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Brisbane. Happy Monday. Couldn't log into my iPad for a minute, it didn't like my password. So I'm just waiting for it to come up so I can see comments. Hi Lisa. Hi Robin. All right. Hopefully it's going to come up in a minute. Oh, here we go. There we go. Hi Kerry, hi Sue. Now I can see everybody. Hi Renee. All right, I'm just trying to make a bit of room in here because I've made a big mess. Right, so tonight I decided I was going to use this stamp set, which I've got all the stamps out, and the dies that go with this because they had no ink on them and they hadn't been used. So I'm like, that's not very good. Need to get some ink and dyes, ink on them and cut out. So these are the Amazing Thanks dies and the Amazing Silhouette Amazing Silhouette stamp set. And I decided to use this paper as well. I've had this on my desk for 2 weeks because I was going to make an album with it and then didn't get round to that. And then I'm like, I need to use this paper because it's so pretty, but I haven't used any of it. And I was debating whether to go live or not, Chrissy, because I think a few people are going to be watching the funeral. But anyway, I'll see who logs in. They can all watch the replay. So this paper is really pretty. It's the same design with different colours. So it's Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, Calypso Coral, Evening Evergreen, Shaded Spruce, and Sweet Sorbet. So there's lots of different colours in here, but it's all the same print. So I used a few colours tonight. So we'll get into it. The winner for this week's Facebook Lucky Draw prize is Megan. So to get into the draw for next week's Lucky Draw prize, I've got quite a few to send out here. So is to like and share my video and comment on my video, and you will go in the draw for next week's Lucky Draw prize. So this week we are doing a few fancy fold cards, and I'm just getting ready what we're doing. So this is the first card that we are going to do, and it's using the butterfly stamp in here. So the next card that I make, I'll put the butterfly up a bit higher and things so you can see more of that, but it folds out like that. Nice fancy fold card. So we'll get into it. So this is just a normal size card base, but it starts with a portrait card. So it goes this way rather than the normal way that I do my cards. And how much did I cut off this time? I can't remember what I did. I just made these cards. I was organised enough to make these cards. Three and an eighth. Okay, so which I think it's 2 7/8. 2 3/4. Yeah. So you cut off 2 3/4, and this then becomes that piece that goes in there. Hi, Julie. So we'll put some bits together. I do like this paper, it's really pretty. I've been wanting to use it for a while, but I just haven't had a chance, thinking of the stamp set to use it with, and then I thought this one works fine for it. So I have also used the, I'm not on this one, why have I got this one here? That's off another one. So I've used both sides of the paper. And so then I've just done 1/8 of an inch layering. So whatever you kind of cut your card base to, 1/8 of an inch layering, smaller is then what I've done my layers. So you don't have to cut off 2 3/4 like I did. You can cut off 3, you could cut off whatever, really. Oh, that bit is for the inside, right. Okay, so then this is the white piece that you cut off the card. So then I'm going to layer these two bits together. And then we're going to do some stamping. So I'm just going to bring my grid paper in. So the colours that I've used, let's just move that out of the way, are Petal Pink, Calypso Coral and So Saffron. And I've got daubers for Petal Pink and Calypso Coral. So, because you want to stamp with your lightest colour. So I'm just going to clean off my stamp. Good, Julie, how are you? Okay, so this time I'm going to stamp up a bit higher, but what you want to do is you get your butterfly the right way. You want to stamp in the lightest colour, so I'm covering the whole stamp with that. Then I'm getting my Petal Pink, daubing it into my ink pad, and just adding a bit of colour. And then Calypso Coral, because it's the darker colour, I'm just doing more that around the edge. And then once you've done that, you want to breathe on this again to just moisten it a little bit. So you go on there. And you get all different colours. Now I'm going to stamp the inside piece as well. I'm not re-inking, I'm just like 2nd and 3rd generation stamping, so it gets lighter and lighter. So I'm going to close up those ink pads. And put put them away. And then this piece is just going to go on the inside. Kind of center that on the inside. This piece gets stuck to your layering piece that you did. And then when I ran these through the die cut, I've got adhesive sheets on the back so that I can just peel them off and stick that on. And then this gets adhesive just on the side. Line that up, kind of covers that. So this inside piece is one of the deckled rectangles. And then finishing this off with some iridescent rhinestones. Just down the side here. Yes, the adhesive sheets are really good, aren't they, Julie? So I am going to show you when I make the last card just how to do the adhesive sheets for those that don't know. So that is our first card done. So I like the butterfly up a bit more because they kind of don't know what it is, but that's our first card. That was nice and quick. It's nice and quick when you've got things prepped. So then this is our second card. And so usually when I make this style card, I fold it this way, but You Are Amazing did not fit across here and it was hanging off too much. So I've decided to make it this way, and I don't think it's too bad. So how we make this type of card is we have got pieces everywhere. So we have a normal size card base and then we fold it back on itself. And use a bone folder to get a nice crisp line. And then we have got some pieces. I quite like the back of this paper, that's why I've used it for the other bits. And that fits in there. So this works quite well because the leaves on the paper, like there's no direction on the paper or anything, so it didn't really matter that I changed the direction of the card midway through making the card. Some papers would obviously have an issue with that, but this one not so much. So then we stick these ones on. So if you want bigger borders, then you could do bigger borders. I do an 1/8 of an inch border for mine, but it's easier if you kind of measure your cardstock and then do it from there. So, and then you'll see with these, I've got adhesive sheets on the inlay as well. Some of them, when I was pulling them out of the die, they came apart, which is why I've already put them together. And it is a bit easier if you have the die with you to kind of line these up a bit, but it's not that hard. to do that. So you just pull the backing off and line it up with the outline. So you don't have to use the outline, but I like it. I think it just makes it pop a bit more. And then you've just got to pull the centers of the A's out. And then the G and the Z are, they've actually got holes in them. So just pop them out. The rest don't have holes in there. So we'll leave them there. Now we'll get to our stamping. So we're going to bring our pad back. And so these colours are, what die set is this, Vickie? I'm going to regret asking. Yes, you are, Julie. So this is Amazing Silhouettes, and it comes with the Amazing Thanks dies. So at the moment, because these are in the annual catalogue, I'm pretty sure they're a bundle still. Hi, Dorothy. But yeah, the dies you could use on any. They don't actually coordinate because they're only word dies, so you can buy them without having to buy the stamp set if the stamp set doesn't take your fancy. But I like it. So this time the colours are Granny Apple Green, Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana. And we're going to stamp with Coastal Cabana. I'm just going to clean my stamp off first. Okay, and then, so we're going to ink up the whole stamp in Coastal Cabana. We're going to get our daubers for Granny Apple Green, and we're just going to tap over with that. And then with Bermuda Bay, I'm going to tap the stem down the middle and the outside. And then we need to moisten this again. So we go and breathe on it. I'm just going to take that one out. So I'm going to stamp a couple of times. So I'm not re-inking my stamp or anything. I'm just stamping. And then for the inside piece, I haven't re-inked my stamp. And it does get lighter and lighter, but you can still see there is an image there. So we're going to pop them over there. Pop that there. So then these are the deckled rectangles again. And then we just layer this one for the inside. And then this one for the outside. Only put adhesive on the top. And then line that up somewhat. And then we just stick these on. So stick Amazing down first so it fits. I bought the Lady Shakes today to try and lose my winter weight. it was really hot today here. We sat outside and had lunch because I'm still working from home. And although I went into the office last week, ladies, was it last week? No, the week before. But yeah, we sat outside and I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to find some summer clothes to wear because that is very crooked. Is it? It's looking very crooked. That's a bit better. Because it was getting quite hot. I'm like, oh, and I'm still in like a 3/4 length sleeve top. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to find my summer clothes. And Hunter's like, that's why I'm in short sleeve shirt, Mum, and short shorts. I'm like, okay. Why have I got something sticky there? Hi, Marie. Then we're just finishing off. This time I'm using the opal rounds. Down the side there. All right. So that is our second card tonight. Pop this over here. And then with our third card, we're going to make this. Now, I'm not very happy with how my Blackberry Bliss turned out. I'm afraid to try on my summer clothes. It's a bit like that, isn't it? So I'm going to, where is my Blackberry Bliss ink? Oops. I'm going to get that ready. And I'm going to show you what I did for the dies because I've only got thanks cut here, not the insert. So if I bring in my big shot, you get your dies, and so I've already stuck the adhesive sheet on the back of the cardstock. So what you want to do is you want to get a piece of cardstock and you stick the adhesive sheet on the back of the cardstock. So this side is not sticky, but this side is sticky. Okay, you leave that with the backing paper on, and then we stick in the die machine. And I've just been sticking another piece of cardstock over the top. I just find sometimes it's not so bad with these dies, but more with the open dies, like the deckled rectangles. Sometimes my plates are leaving marks on my cutouts. So if you get a piece of cardstock and just lay it over the top, it does make it just that little bit thicker to go through, but it shouldn't stop it going through. So I just roll it through and then roll it back. With the adhesive sheet, sometimes you do want to give it 2 goes. Just to make sure it cuts through. And then pull that off. Now you can keep sending that through the die cutter as a cover plate for ages. And then you pull this out. And see how sometimes when you're pulling it away from the dies, the backing comes off? So if you do that and let all the backing come off, then when you line this up, at least you've still got some sturdiness in here. So you can, because once it comes out of the die, it is a bit thin. So you kind of just line this up with the die. I find it easier if I lift it up. I've got sticky on my side here. Push that down, and then you should be able to pull that away from the die. pop any little bits left out of the die so it's clean for when you go to use it next time. And then this bit, pop the S out, pop the K out and the T, and then pull out the centre of the A. And that's my little tip with these dies. This S does not want to come out. Okay, and then for some stamping, pick up that die. This is the stamp set. We need our scratch paper in here as well. So the colours for this one are crushed curry, Bermuda Bay, and pumpkin pie. I'm just going to add a bit of re-inker to my Blackberry Bliss. Oh, what did I say? Bermuda Bay. It's not Bermuda Bay, it's Blackberry Bliss, ladies. Because I didn't like the colour that came out when I made the card just before. Just going to make sure my stamp is clean. Okay, and so we're going to stamp in crushed curry because we stamp in our lightest one. Get the pumpkin pie and just add randomly on here with your dauber. And then the Blackberry Bliss, where I've just re-inked. And I'm doing all the outside. So these are going to be like autumn colours. And then you need to moisten the stamp. I'm going to stamp this one in the middle because that's going to be the front of the card. That's a bit better. And then this one towards the side. And then close those ink pads. Pop them away. And then put the card together. So I'm not so sure on this stamp set. You could ink it with just one colour, Julie, and not have all this, all the variations. But like I said, the dies are very different to the stamp set. They don't really coordinate. They're just word dies. So if you like the word dies, you can just purchase them separately. You don't have to purchase the bundle. I don't know whether I've cut that right. Ugh. So better. And I was using this side. Oh, I haven't even cut this card yet. Whoops. Bring that trimmer back in. And this one I've cut the card 2 inches. And then you can use that for other bits. I haven't used it for anything for this card. That then gets adhesive. Put on here. And the full image goes on the front. And the partial image goes on the inside. Let's line them up. Stick the thanks on. My T does go over a bit, but I've made sure it hangs over this side, not over this side, so it catches on something. And then these ones finish off with the pearls, the iridescent pearls. I made another album on Saturday. I don't need to watch the video anymore. Gets like that when you've made a few, doesn't it, Julie? All right. So let's clean up a little bit. But then you won't make them for a little bit, and then you'll need the instructions again. All right. Oh, these are sticking to my desk. These are the bits out of the thanks dies. Come on, come off my desk. They'll stick to my floor if I don't get them in the rubbish bin either. God. So, the cards tonight are this one, that one, and this one. All using the silhouette in Amazing Silhouette stamps. Well, you've got the blog post that you can refer back to, Julie, as well. If you get stuck, you can remember to go back there on the and find it on the YouTube video, which then takes you back to thing. So it's a different way of using that stamp set, some different cards to make, and showcasing the adhesive sheets as well. So thank you, ladies, and you can all go back and watch the funeral for the Queen. So thank you for a good night. Hope you have a nice weekend and a nice week. Not sure of the last card colour. I think it looks a bit better in person than the video though, Kerry. Sometimes the video is not great with the light, but I think it's also my Blackberry Bliss card. Ink pad. It needs to be replaced, I think, but yes, some different colours on that would make it a very different card. So thank you, ladies. Have a good night, and catch you next week. Bye.